Matthew chapter 12, please. That's where we'll begin. Matthew chapter 12, starting in verse 33. Glad that you're here. We're all fighting to stay awake after our big lunches, and so we'll do the best we can to study God's Word this afternoon. Matthew 12 and verse 33. Jesus said, either make the tree good and its fruit good, or make the tree bad and its fruit bad. For the tree is known by its fruit. You brood of vipers, how can you, being evil, speak what is good? For the mouth speaks out of that which fills the heart. The good man brings out of his good treasure what is good, and the evil man brings out of his evil treasure what is evil. But I tell you that every careless word that people speak, they shall give an accounting for it in the day of judgment. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. It wouldn't make sense for us to say that words don't matter. Sometimes people might make that claim. Maybe it's because we're trying to justify some of the words we've been saying lately. But it wouldn't make sense after reading a passage like this to say, well, my heart is good. That's what God looks at, is the heart. And so the things I say, that's no big deal. Those are just words. But Jesus is saying words are a reflection of what's in the heart. And when your heart is one way, that comes out in the things that you say, or maybe the things that you type. That's what we want to talk about this afternoon. Let's talk specifically about the words that we use online. We use social media more and more these days. We got a president now who loves to tweet. And that's all we're going to say about that. But this is just a part of our lives now, especially the younger generations. And this is a thing, I guess, that's here to stay. And that means that our preaching and teaching needs to keep pace with that. As Christians, we need to think about how to apply the same old Bible principles to the new circumstances in which we find ourselves. And that's what this lesson is about. How do we apply the same gospel principles to modern technology? And so that's why we have the title tonight, Hashtag Christianity. What's a hashtag? I don't know how this thing started, this phenomenon of hashtags, but a hashtag or a pound sign, you put that next to a word or phrase, and that kind of labels your post or labels your tweet or identifies it as belonging to a certain category of thing, a certain topic. According to hashtags.org, simply put, a hashtag is an easy way for people to categorize, find, and join conversations on a particular topic. The hashtag is used to highlight keywords or topics within a tweet and can be placed anywhere within a post. But you don't have to understand any of that to follow this sermon. We'll be talking about Bible principles. If you're not into this sort of thing, it's all right. The same Bible principles you've been hearing about for years are what we're going to talk about. I'm just using this title, Hashtag Christianity, as kind of a reminder that we're focusing especially on online speech this afternoon. And so I want us to address three online behaviors that can get us into trouble. It's almost like sometimes we have the idea that there's two different worlds we're living in. That when we're in the real world, we need to behave, that God's watching us, we're accountable for the things we say. But then when we enter the online world, it's like, all restrictions are gone. Now I can say anything, I can type anything, I can be as mean and nasty as I want, I can gossip, I can do whatever I want because it's online, and somehow that's different. But we need to remember, of course, God sees what happens online. We need to behave just as much there, if not more so, than we do in our face-to-face interactions. So let's take a careful look at a few behaviors this afternoon. Let's talk about boasting, first of all. Look in Romans chapter 1, please. Romans chapter 1. Let's talk about bragging and boasting, that sort of thing. When I preach on gossip, I make the point that we need to be careful that we don't gossip and then try to excuse ourselves from gossip by tagging on that magic little phrase that we usually say. We might gossip and gossip and gossip, then at the end of it we say, well, bless his heart. And maybe in our mind, not every time we say bless his heart are we gossiping, but maybe I feel like I can say anything I want about anybody as long as I say at the end, well, bless their hearts. And then it's all magically okay. Now everything's fine because everyone knows I'm not being mean. I'm just saying this and I have a good spirit and it bless their hearts. I feel excused from my gossip. Maybe we do the same sort of thing online, not necessarily just with gossip, but maybe we do something online and we feel like that excuses us from what we've done. How about bragging and boasting? Romans chapter 1 and verse 30, he mentions all these sins: slanderers, haters of God, insolent, arrogant, boastful, and that's right there in the list with everything else. And inventors of evil, haters of God, murdering, all those bad things. We know that boasting, bragging, that sort of thing is wrong. So can I boast for 3 paragraphs on Facebook so long as I end the post with #blessed? I wasn't bragging the whole time. See, I was just listing my blessings. And so that's kind of like when I gossip, as long as I tag on the end, bless their hearts, I'm justified in my mind. Now online, I go, same deal. #blessed or something like that, and that's the magic formula, and that transforms all of my words into pure righteousness. I wasn't bragging about that cool thing that I bought, or the awesome vacation we had, or something great I pulled off. You can tell I tagged on that #blessed. And maybe it's not even material things, but it's spiritual things. Look at the work that I've done in God's kingdom. And my motive there is not necessarily God's kingdom and its glory, but me. The work that I've done. I'm trying to elevate my name among brethren. It's easy for us to fall into that sort of thing. How does God evaluate those kinds of posts? Here's what we ought to do instead. Look at Matthew chapter 5. Let's try to clarify this because there's a very fine line between right and wrong on this issue. Let's see what Jesus had to say about it. Matthew chapter 5. Notice what he says in verse 14. Matthew 5 and verse 14. You are the light of the world. The city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor does anyone light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on the lampstand, and gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Now that's one passage to show us that God definitely wants us to be examples to other people. He's commanding us, be a light to the world. And so there's definitely a sense in which that needs to happen. Other people need to see my good works. I shouldn't always hide them in such a way that nobody knows that I'm a Christian. Nobody sees any of the good things I do or something like that. Jesus wants us to be lights to the world. But turn the page, Matthew chapter 6. Look at the warning he gave. Matthew 6, and we have to balance it out with this. Matthew 6 and verse 1. Beware of practicing your righteousness before men to be noticed by them. Otherwise, you have no reward with your Father who is in heaven. So when you get into the poor, do not sound a trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, so that they may be honored by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward in full. Notice, by the way, he's talking about motive there. Notice he's saying that phrase, so that. You're doing this so that you'll be noticed by men. Keep reading verse 3. But when you give to the poor, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your giving will be in secret, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. When you pray, you're not to be like the hypocrites, for they love to stand and pray in the synagogues and on the street corners. Here it is again, so that they may be seen by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward in full. But you, when you pray, go into your inner room, close your door, and pray to your Father who's in secret, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. And so Jesus, Matthew 5, definitely wants us to be a light into the world, but he's also warning us, Matthew 6, you need to check your motive. Make sure you're not doing it to elevate self. Make sure you're not doing it so that you will be seen by men. It's not about bragging, boasting, showing off. It's not that sort of thing. All right, now transfer that to our conversation about online behaviors. Is it necessarily wrong to have that #blessed on there? No. In fact, that might be just what God wants us to have in a Matthew 5 kind of way, where we're able to show other people God's blessings, and we're able to show in the online community something good that's happened to us, especially a spiritual thing that's good. But we need to be super honest with ourselves and think about how these posts might come off to somebody else, and especially how God is interpreting those. Are we truly trying to glorify God for our blessings? Or are we just showing off? And then we think, well, if I put #blessed or some equivalent to that on there, then that makes it okay. Kind of a humble brag on my part. Some boasting that's disguised as listing of blessings. So let's understand in Jesus in Matthew 5 and 6, we need Christians online reminding others of God's blessing. This is good. This is right. This is encouraging. It's certainly refreshing. I don't know about you, but it's certainly refreshing to go on there and see maybe someone talking about their spouse in a positive way. Here's something good my husband did or my wife did or whatever. And that's good, especially in our world that's so full of negativity and trash and people running each other down. It's good to see those kind of relationships and compliments and things. I'm reminded of Proverbs chapter 31 that talks about that excellent wife. Her children rise up and bless her. Her husband also, he praises her. Let her works praise her in the gate. That idea is biblical, that we would uphold and exalt each other in a good and righteous, non-bragging kind of way. But we need to make sure that that's truly our motive. How about Acts chapter 14? Notice how God truly got the glory. When Paul was going around on those preaching journeys, and then he would come give a report of the work that he had done, notice how he worded those things. Acts chapter 14 is a good example of that. Down to verse 27. Acts 14:27 says, when they had arrived and gathered the church together, they began to report all the things that God had done with them, and how he had opened a door of faith to the Gentiles. You notice that? What God had done. It's not us, and look at me, I'm Paul, how awesome I am. Look what God had done through us. We, his servants, were able to do this. Look in chapter 15 and verse 12. All the people kept silence, and they were listening to Barnabas and Paul as they were relating what signs and wonders God had done through them among the Gentiles. Same thing, right? How about chapter 21? Acts chapter 21 and verse 18. Coming to the end of the third journey over here. Acts 21 and verse 18. The following day Paul went in with us to James, and all the elders were present. And after he had greeted them, he began to relate one by one the things which God had done among the Gentiles through his ministry. Notice verse 20. And when they heard it, they began glorifying God. Notice there that the way people react is probably a good indication of how you're coming off. Because here when Paul starts describing this, they don't glorify Paul, they glorify God. When I finish my post, are people focused on me or God? If I'm truly trying to glorify God by listing his blessings or whatever, then is that what people are saying after they read my post? How great God is. Or, oh, look at them, how good they are. This is another sermon, but preachers could take that same point. When they're done preaching, or people say, look how great a preacher he is. Or they're thinking about God and things in their life that they need to improve. That's another lesson. But here's Paul, a great example of giving God the glory. God is the one with the wisdom, the grace that is extended to us, and his love and his power. He's the one who saves us. As Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 1:31, let him who boasts, boast in the Lord. That should be our attitude. And so before we post, let's double check our motives. And let's make sure that instead of contributing more self-centeredness to the world, we're pointing to God truly and saying thank you. That's boasting. Let's talk about another one then. How about materialism? Look at 1 Kings chapter 21, please. 1 Kings chapter 21. Let's use old King Ahab as an example over here. This is 1 Kings chapter 21. You remember Ahab, one of the most evil kings that there was. 1 Kings chapter 21 and verse 1. It says, now it came about after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard which was in Jezreel, beside the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria. Ahab spoke to Naboth, saying, give me your vineyard, that I may have it for a vegetable garden, because it's close beside my house, and I'll give you a better vineyard than it in its place. If you like, I will give you the price of it in money. But Naboth said to Ahab, the Lord forbid me that I should give you the inheritance of my fathers. So Ahab came to his house sullen and vexed because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him. For he said, I will not give you the inheritance of my fathers. And he lay down in his bed and turned away his face and ate no food. And you might remember the rest of the story. His wife Jezebel comes and she does her evil stuff, and she ends up killing Naboth, and they get the vineyard. But here's Ahab, and he's a full-grown man, but he is whining like a baby. He is throwing a fit. And I want that vineyard. Not just any vineyard, I want that vineyard. That's materialism in Ahab. He wants this material thing, and he's obsessed with that. He's going now and laying on his bed and acting like that because he wants that vineyard, that obsession with material things. And so that's always been a problem. We see that here in Ahab's story and other Old Testament story. This is an old story, but the internet exacerbates that problem. It just throws gas on the flames and helps materialism get out of control because the grass is always greener on the other Facebook feed. Imagine if King Ahab not only was able to see that vineyard right next to his place, what if he had internet back then? What if King Ahab was able to see all the vineyards across the kingdom and compare and think, oh, I need all of those things. And all the good things I have in there, I need the same sort of thing. And he sees old Jared over there in Jericho, and he sees him posting on ancient Instagram about his vineyard. And Jared's vineyard, he's got upgrades he's got a fountain, and he's got 6 shade trees, and he's got a sidewalk for leisurely strolls through his vineyard. And Ahab starts thinking about that, and I don't just need a new vineyard. I probably need a whole palace upgrade around here. And he starts thinking about all these things that other people have, and I wish I had those things. And he starts looking around on ancient Instagram, and there's King Jehoshaphat's wife, and she just posted 5 pictures about the imported Egyptian tiles that they've got in their dining room. And he starts thinking, well, I need some of that in my dining room. And that's what we do, isn't it? We get on the computer, we start seeing what everybody else has. And that's materialism that starts creeping in on social media. It's not a new problem. Materialism is as old as dirt. But the internet just throws gas in the flame. And it gives us a way to get involved and obsessed with that because we see everybody else's highlight reel. Do you use Pinterest? You know Pinterest? Good old Pinterest, right? Pinterest is a website. A lot of us love and use Pinterest. My wife got Pinterest. It describes itself this way. Pinterest is the world's catalog of ideas. Find and save recipes, parenting hacks, style, inspiration, and other ideas to try. From what I can tell you, just kind of group together these websites and kind of organize things. Here's a bunch of websites about fashion. Here's a bunch of websites about making your own pottery. Here's a bunch of websites about children's Bible class ideas. You just group them all together, and so there's Pinterest. And so you can start looking around on there and seeing all kinds of different things that you might be interested in. And all of that is fine and good. But do you ever suffer from Pinterest envy or Pinterest stress? Did you know those are things? Those are things. Check this out. In our exclusive Today Mom survey of 7,000 U.S. mothers, 42% said that they sometimes suffer from Pinterest stress. They're worried that they're not crafty or creative enough. Symptoms include staying up until 3 a.m., clicking through photos of exquisite handmade birthday party favors, even though you'll end up buying yours at the dollar store, or sobbing quietly into a burnt mess of expensive ingredients that were supposed to be adorable bunny cookies for the school bake sale. There's nothing wrong with these websites, nothing wrong necessarily with Pinterest, but we get into trouble when we let our own immaturity and our own materialism dominate our thinking. And what happens is we get on there and we start making comparisons. And maybe we start wishing we had the things other people had or could do the things that other people do, and we start getting jealous and wishing we could have or do all the things we see other people having and doing. And as Christians, we can do this even with spiritual things. We start looking at that, and moms or dads, and we start feeling a little inadequate at what other people are able to accomplish. And look, here's this mom, and she made these special Bibles for her kids, and every other word is highlighted in 20 different colors, and she's got Hebrew and Greek in the margins, and she made one for each of her 10 kids. And we barely get matching socks on Sunday morning. My kids are never going to have it. Some spiritual things. Don't think of materialism as just some billionaire Wall Street guy, and he's stepping on everybody, he's mean, he's greedy. That's materialism too, but materialism in a general sense is just loving physical things more than spiritual things. And that's what this is. 1 John chapter 2, look how broad the warning is, verses 15 and 16. Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in it. For all that's in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the boastful pride of life is not from the Father, but is from the world. Keep that lust of the eyes in mind. Next time you start growing jealous and you start scrolling around on Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest or one of these other places, we need to find peace. We need to find something that lasts, which means we need to find God. Verse 17 says, the world is passing away, and also its lust, but the one who does the will of God lives forever. What if you never get to go on that vacation that your friend just posted about? Some dream vacation, Disney World or European vacation, whatever it is. What if you never get to go on that as long as you live on earth? Would you settle for a one-way trip to heaven? Obviously, that trumps everything, right? Why is it we get so distracted so obsessed with doing everything here on earth that's fun to do and owning everything that's fun to own. And we start getting distracted from the main thing, glorifying God while we're here and living with Him in eternity. Let's never let these social media sites distract us from that. And so what if those smiley face cookies turn out looking like a vampire, you know? Is my heart set on Christ? That's what matters, right? These material things shouldn't be the things that distract me from good parenting and good homemaking and being a good spouse and being a good servant to other people, especially my brethren. Don't compare your life to someone else's highlight reel, especially in physical things that just don't matter. We need to stop comparing and longing for those material things and learn to be content with the spiritual blessings that we have. Turn backwards a few pages, Hebrews chapter 13. Notice what it says there, Hebrews 13 and verse 5. Make sure that your character is free from the love of money, being content with what you have. For He Himself has said, I will never desert you, nor will I ever forsake you. So that we may confidently say, the Lord is my helper, I will not be afraid. What will man do to me? We have to ask ourselves, where's my heart? Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Matthew 6:21. And so if I pour myself into my house and my cars and my baked goods and my dog's hairstyle and everything else that's out there for us to look at, where's God supposed to fit in all that? I may not be the Wall Street banker, but I'm guilty of materialism. I'm letting all those things creep in through those seemingly harmless avenues of social media. Let's watch out. Here's another one let's talk about, anonymous aggression. This is another sad phenomenon that goes along with online behavior. A lot of times people get mean and nasty when they type something online. Have you noticed that? Especially if your name's not attached to it. I mean, it's just like, you say anything online. A lot of times nowadays people don't mind saying it when their name is attached to it, or even face-to-face. But it seems like it just gets even more rude, more offensive online, and more vulgar when the name is not attached. Lots of people use Twitter to castigate their targets in 140 characters or less. Some celebrities and sports stars try to laugh that off. Have you ever seen mean tweets of on TV or something and read mean tweets that people have left about them? And it's kind of a way for them to laugh that off, but it's an illustration also of how ugly people tend to be online. Another right field of abusive speech is the comments section at the end of a news article. So if you go to a news website, here's some article that's posted at the end of that. If you scroll to the bottom, there's usually room for comments. And people start leaving comments about it, and half the time it goes off into something unrelated to what the original article was about anyway. And people argue with each other, call each other names, and cuss words, and all kinds of nasty stuff. Just ugly stuff. And one big contributor to that callousness is anonymity. If I'm allowed to post a comment without my name attached to it, I'm much more likely to say those things that are ugly and vulgar and rude. And the younger people are, the more likely they are to post anonymously. A Pew poll found 40% of people 18 to 29 said they post without revealing their name. So this happens more statistically with younger people. Here's some other research that came out. One of the most common critiques of online comments cites a disconnect between the commenter's identity and what he is saying, a phenomenon that the psychologist John Suler memorably termed the online disinhibition effect. The theory is that the moment you shed your identity, the usual constraints on your behavior go too. And so it's gotten so bad that some online publications they've just done away with the comments section, or they've done away at least with the anonymous comments. People are still mean, but it's a much lower percentage. Here's another excerpt. When Arthur Santana, a communications professor at the University of Houston, analyzed 900 randomly chosen user comments on articles about immigration, half from newspapers that allowed anonymous postings, such as the Los Angeles Times and the Houston Chronicle, and half from ones that didn't, including USA Today and the Wall Street Journal, he discovered that anonymity made a perceptible difference. A full 53% of anonymous commenters were uncivil, as opposed to 29% of registered non-anonymous commenters. Anonymity, Santana concluded, encouraged incivility. So there's some statistics to put with what we already knew. When you don't have your name attached to it, you're more likely to be ugly. And And we need to watch out for that sort of thing. Being aggressive, being ugly, being vulgar online. What should we do instead? Look at the book of Acts chapter 10, please. Acts chapter 10. Remember that Peter's over here in Cornelius' house. And in verse 34, opening his mouth, Peter said, I most certainly understand now that God is not one to show partiality, but in every nation the man who fears him and does what is right is welcome to him. Think about that phrase that he uses there, does what is right. We need to do what is right, and that's not the only place, of course, that concept or that phrasing pops up in the Bible. In 2 Corinthians 13:7, it says, now we pray to God that you do no wrong, but that you may do what is right. 1 Peter 2:20, if you do what is right and suffer for it, and you patiently endure it, this finds favor with God. Over and over again, that's what we're told to do. You do what is right. Period. Not if my name's attached to it, I'll do what is right. Not if people are going to find me out, I'll do what is right. Just do what is right. That's what a Christian is supposed to do. Look in Matthew chapter 7, please. It doesn't matter if a sinful, anonymous comment can ever be traced back to me. The point is that it's wrong. We need to develop some self-regulation and a sense of propriety and a feeling of accountability before God. Not just accountability to others, that they might embarrass me in some way or get me in trouble in some way, but God knows what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is not good and helpful and encouraging to my fellow man. That ought to be the thing that restrains me from doing that sort of stuff. Matthew chapter 7 and verse 12, how about this principle? In everything, therefore, treat people the same way you want them to treat you, for this is the law and the prophet. The internet does not somehow lift my obligations in this area. I'm supposed to do that no matter what, even if it's online, even if it's anonymous. How about Colossians chapter 3? Look at Colossians chapter 3, please. Let's remember a little bit of what God expects when it comes to language. A lot of passages we could read here. We could read James 3. We could read a lot of verses from Proverbs. How about Colossians chapter 3 and in verse 8? It says, but now you also put them all aside. Anger, wrath, malice, slander, and abusive speech from your mouth. Do not lie to one another, since you laid aside the old self with its evil practices. That goes back to what we were talking about last night, right? All that should be gone from us. We've laid aside those old things. All of that abusive speech, all of that should be history. Verse 12, he says, so as those who've been chosen of God, holy and beloved, put on a heart of compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, patience. That's what we need to be doing. Even when we are online, probably especially when we're online. But I guess as long as there's internet, there will be sin on the internet. It's just like everything else. Whatever technology exists, the devil's found a way to get a hold of that and use it to his glory instead of to God's glory. Let's rein that in. Let's find ways to use technology on this planet in ways that glorify God. The devil should not have a monopoly on technology. Look back in Matthew chapter 12, please. Let's finish where we began. Matthew chapter 12, and what Jesus said. Matthew 12 and verse 34, you brood of vipers, how can you, being evil, speak what is good? For the mouth speaks out of that which fills the heart. Everything we've talked about today, we're talking about issues of the heart. It's not just words. It's all coming out of what's in my heart. God loves us. He wants us to dedicate our hearts to Him. And if our online behavior is not what it should be, that's a red flag that my heart is not what it should be. And that's the root issue that we need to address. God loves us. He wants what's best for us. He wants us to use the time He's given us on this planet to glorify Him, even online. Do some self-evaluation. See if there's some ways that you can improve and bring God the glory. If there's some way we can help you this afternoon, you need to make your life right with God in some way. If you need to confess something wrong, if you need to ask the prayers of the brethren here, however we can help you publicly, please come forward while we stand and sing to encourage.